What's up, guys? Hope you're staying creative. This video is about how to find your voice. Are you a creative person? Are you a writer, a comedian, an actor, a musician? And have you found your voice? Comment below. When I was just starting out, everyone was talking about this. Oh, it's so important to find your voice. Go find your voice. Find it. Go find it. I don't even know where I put it. But from doing comedy, 7 years now, I am starting to understand what it is. I know what my voice is, and basically when people are talking about your voice, they're talking about your persona, your point of view. I think there's a lot of different things that go into your voice, but your point of view, your persona, your essence, these are all things that really add to it. Now, for those people that are struggling with finding your voice, what I would say is step one would be to really look inside yourself and determine what your pervasive emotion is. Are you usually an anxious person? Are you an angry person? Do you like to, self-deprecate? And these are going to be little roadmaps on determining what your voice might be. Now, the second thing is you want a point of reference, especially if you're a comedian that's just starting out and that's wondering what their voice is. After you examine yourself and determine what your pervasive emotion is, I would go and look for comedians that have those similar pervasive emotions in their style, in their delivery, in their comedy. So if you're an angry person that usually likes to rant and this is what's making your friends laugh, I would check out Bill Burr or Lewis Black, and these types of comedians. After watching, you'll be able to say, oh, okay, even though he's an angry, ranting person, you see exactly how they do it and how they make it theirs. And so watching and getting a point of reference on how these people are using their anger to create comedy is going to give you a very good benchmark and a roadmap on what to do. Are you a self-deprecating comic? Then I would check out Brian Regan, or Louis Anderson is a great example. I myself, if you watch my comedy on my YouTube page, please do. My style is very self-deprecating. I have a video uploaded here where I'm talking about Korean names. That's a perfect example of my style, my voice, very self-deprecating type of humor. Also, when it comes to looking up these comedians, when you're beginning out, it's okay to mimic their voice. Now, I'm not saying take their jokes. I'm saying, their cadence or their the way their delivery is. Every comedian has a certain rhythm. When I was starting out, I loved Brian Regan. Check him out. He is a self-deprecating comic. He does a lot of act outs, and I emulated that. So if you see my comedy, I do a lot of act outs, but I made it my own. So once you can start out by mimicking, but make sure as you're getting better and progressing and really personalize that voice. Even though I'm a self-deprecating comic, the way I do it is going to be different from the way someone else does it. So it's okay to mimic when you're beginning out, but as you're growing and evolving, make sure your voice evolves as well. Next thing you have to understand is that your voice is your essence. It's what makes you you. So really delve into that, and only you or maybe some of your closest friends might have that answer, but I don't have that answer for you, but I can give you some examples. So let's take, for instance, a comedian, Gilbert Gottfried, right? He is known for the Aflac commercials. He's known for his huge voice. He was the voice of Iago, and that is not only his physical voice, but it's also his voice when it comes to his jokes. His jokes are very loud, in your face, and it has a pop similar to his voice, and that is in essence, no one else can do that Gilbert Gottfried voice. That's his thing, that's his essence, that's his voice. On the other side, you have comedians such as Dina Hashem, who's on the polar opposite. She uses a much lower voice, she goes much slower, and that's her essence, that's her voice. So what you want to do is you want to experiment with these, go up on stage, and stage time is the only real answer when it comes to finding your voice. You have to get on stage, try out different things, and see what really fits your persona, what you feel comfortable with. And second, of course, you have to make sure that you're getting the laughs, even though you're comfortable with it and this is who you are. Now tailor that into comedy, tailor your jokes into that persona, fit your jokes into that persona. If you're an angry person and you have a joke that's not angry, make it angry. And it might really help you develop your voice and get that bigger pop that you're looking for. Another thing that's very important when it comes to finding your voice and determining your voice is this. You have to understand that your voice comes from who you are, and that's your childhood, your background, your location that you're from. So if you see comedians that are from the South, such as a Ron White or a Nate Bargatze, you can see that their style is very laid back because they're from the South. The way of living is different there, and their comedy reflects that. That's their voice, that's their essence, that's who they are, and they really, really tap into it. They do it in their own way, yet that will give you a great foundation on really developing what your voice is. When I was starting out comedy as an Asian American, I watched a lot of Joe Coy, Bobby Lee, Russell Peters, because for me, I am a son of immigrant parents. I came to this country when I was young. I was born in Korea. So it was very informative, and it was such a learning experience when I watched these hilarious comics from similar backgrounds as I am. And when I look at my experiences, now I can take those, personalize it, and find my voice that way. My family was super strict. They were overbearing, and a lot of my comedy stems from that, right? So a lot of my experiences where I'm at war with my my parents, this is something that I'm sure every Asian household child can relate to. So a lot, my voice is going to be shaped by those experiences, and it's important to be aware of it and really delve into those subjects. Because when I was dealing with my parents, I was frustrated, I was angry, I was sad, and now it's some of my best material. So look up the comedians that come from a similar background as yours, see how they're doing their jokes, how they're tailoring their experiences to their persona, and how it really reflects on stage when it comes to telling your jokes. And I'm saving the most important for last. When it comes to finding your voice, honesty is key. It's important to be honest and consistent throughout your set. You can't pretend to be someone that you're not, because the audience will pick it up right away. Audience members are smart. They know when something is off and something is not right. And once the audience doesn't believe you and they don't take you seriously, they stop listening to you. So when it comes to your voice, don't pretend to be someone you're not. Be honest and be consistent throughout your set. If you're a self-deprecating comic and you're making jokes about, you know, your insecurities and your anxieties and your fears, and that's what's being hilarious, in the same set, it doesn't make any sense to say a joke, no matter how funny it is, of being a cool guy, macho guy, because it's not consistent. Once the audience realizes that, they're going to say, what's this guy? So when it comes to your voice, be truthful, be honest, and stay consistent. Now, it's important to stay consistent throughout your set. Your voice stays consistent throughout your set. But you have to understand that as you grow as a comedian, and this I'm explaining more for long term, we don't stay the same. Our personality, our persona, our point of view, our voice is different now than it was when we were 15. So your voice is going to be changing as you grow older, as you have more experiences under your belt, and it's important to be self-aware of that. If you're changing as a person and your jokes are still the same jokes from when you were 15, there's going to be a discrepancy. So as you're growing, as you're changing, your jokes should be changing as well. So when it comes to your voice, not only is it important to find your voice, but it's also important to be aware of who you are and make sure your voice is reflecting your true self at that moment. There you have it, guys. I hope this video was helpful to you. Stay creative. And I know during these times we have a lot of time, so let's use this time wisely to be creative, create content, and bring some joy into the world, because I know a lot of people need it. If you guys want some more stand-up comedy tips or writing tips, please comment below. Give me some ideas of what type of videos I should be making. I know I'm relatively new to this, so I could use as much help as I can get. But please subscribe, turn on the notification. Thank you for watching, guys. I have more stand-up clips, more of my character sketches coming up, so I'm really excited to share that with you. So until next time, bye.